Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Good morning. It's a good day in the Lord, and I'll say it to my listening audience, it is a good day to be alive. I'm excited. I kept on saying it one more time. I'm excited because I have my partner, my boy, my friend, my comrade, my guest and co-host, and Brother Leroy Browder. Brother Browder, good morning. Good morning.
Good to you. Good morning to you, Brother Mims and the audience.
What did you say about that Tuesday? This is
Talk Back Tuesday.
Talk Back Tuesday. That's, I was trying to figure it out. Talk Back Tuesday, and we're gonna do something that I've been thinking about a long time, and Brother Browder is the greatest person to do this with. That we're going to he's going to address many of the problems. Some of the problems we probably in an hour's time we need about 2 or 3, 4, 5 hours. But down the road he's going to come back and deal with some other things. But we want to talk about some of the things that's concerning our community, like education, number one, and some of the things that and answers. Now everybody ain't gonna like the answer because that means you got to get involved. You got to change. You got to do something. But this is New Orleans Talk Network, hostages that fight back. Hostages. We may be hostages, but we're not going without a fight. And my brother, right, my brother?
That's right.
So we invite you to listen and to call in at 504-341-8255. This is Brother Mims. And with that said, Brother Browder, I'll give you the floor.
Well, I'm glad to be here once again to share information with the listening audience, and I'm just eager to see on this Talk Back Tuesday what the listening audience have on their minds and in their hearts. So, the thing that I'm truly concerned with is the education, first and foremost, of the kids in the community. Talk charter schools or teachers that doesn't have the amount of tools that they need to teach the kids, so it can be a successful journey for the children.
I would be disappointed if you didn't put children first. That's you. You're an advocate. You've been to numerous meetings over the years, and sometimes like a fly in a bowl of buttermilk, if I may say. I see you, speaking out. Sometimes they have tried to silence you, but you keep rising up to the occasion and keeping what's important to our kids. Because I tell parents you got to be involved. So with that said, Brother Browder, you have the floor.
Okay. First and foremost, my journey with education has been always to the forefront. A lot of it I didn't complete, but looking back over the journey that I've taken in education, I saw here in Louisiana that our children are really suffering greatly throughout the United States of America. And the reasons confounded me that we just weren't eager enough to prepare them for the future. It's always finances. It's always somebody else's error and judgments where our children are suffering. A school that I grew up and went to, Ralph Bunch Junior High School out in Metairie, was under attack once again by way of the charter. I found out when I got there that Ralph Johnson Bunch School name was not even appearing on the new school's charter. And I questioned them, and I said, well, why would you take the name away from the school that has been there, and as well as from the name of the school, the person that the school was named after, has meant so much.
And Brother Browder, may I interject for a minute? I understand exactly what you're saying. I live in Central City in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I stay 2 blocks from Carter G. Woodson.
Correct.
And they came in, and its name, they rebuilt it in Carter G. Woodson after the storm, but it said Kemp. When they was talking about Kemp School, I kept saying, well, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
Right.
And and what I thought about it when I went to one of the meetings, like yourself, I said Kemp means kids in parish prison.
Wow.
And it came across my mind.
Wow.
But I agree with you, like you said, that the Carter G. Woodson was a black educator.
Exactly.
And they just killed him out.
Exactly.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And to associate that, what you're saying about an educator, Dr. Ralph Johnson Bunch was an educator. He was an athlete at UCLA. He went on to Harvard, London School of Economics.
Positive role model.
Positive role models.
Positive.
I think it was Northwestern University that he also went to. He became the first black, at that time Negro, to win a Nobel Prize for negotiating a peace accord between Israel and Palestine back then. So I was
peacemaker.
He was exactly. I was appalled that, and I didn't understand as you did, why was the name changed? What was the significance of overshadowing something that was there?
But let me say this to you, Brother Browder. What also angered me when I went to some of my neighbors and spoke about it, they wasn't outraged. They wasn't concerned. I was saying, you know, what's the difference, Brother Mims, if the name changes, as long as they teaching our children?
Well, the fact of the matter is, people, as they say, who forget their past is destined to repeat it. Dr. Ralph Johnson Bunch was so significant in my day that then President John F. Kennedy stopped on Airline Highway to greet us
all the time.
All the time. This was such a significant part of my community that I grew up in. Why would then President John F. Kennedy, just before his assassination, would stop to see the Negro children at Ralph Johnson Bunch Junior High School? It was significant because of who that community and the spirit of that community was named after, Dr. Ralph Johnson Bunch. And so to see people come in and, if you will, blacks are part of it, the educators, knowing that something is going on, something is transpiring, and that the community isn't involved because it's literally kind of kept from them as to what the changes are being done. And when it's done, it's like, KIP, what is KIP, right? Or what is the International School of, what is that? What happened to Bunch? What happened to Carter G. Woodson, who was a serious educator?
Booker T. Washington.
Was a serious educator.
Yes.
And who helped bring out and promote the Black History Month.
Yes.
So all of these things are significant. Here's what, in my opinion,
come on,
because there may be lack of interest in our community, as well as the things that have going on in our community have separated us. The storm or whatever may have allowed people to kind of disperse from within the community. It happened in mine. When I was at the meetings with the school board, there weren't a lot of people there. Well,
ouch.
A lot of people have moved. Some have gone on and died.
Some don't care.
Well, and that's not the focus. That's not the focus. If it's one, and I made a contribution, and I'm not here to receive a pat on the back, but I'm fortunate and thank God for my mother that she said, well, son, why don't you just go see what's happening? Now, well, I've been graduated from there. The school is practically closed. But I was fortunate enough to be one of the voices that allowed Ralph Bunch to reopen once again and to try to make the attempt to recapture that true spirit that it was there. It was self-sufficient. We had great teachers that came from historically black schools, and that's the fortunate part, that they wanted us to do better in that school. And so now, if it's one, if it's two, right, that we can get something started. Back to Carter G. Woodson. Why is KIPP there? What is KIPP for? Why has Carter G. Woodson name been smothered? Mahalia Jackson School is subject to closure.
Oh, yeah.
Three New Orleans schools facing losing their charters.
Yeah.
The grading system. Why do we need charter schools and the grading systems are so poor?
Oh, yeah.
Carver, F,
Yes.
and you know,
Yes.
and all of these things, gradings, and yet you still support the charter schools' effort.
Well, I'm familiar with the charter schools. I've seen where they promise integrity and better grades and enlightenment, but I see that they have had failures, and then they reapply with another name. What is that all about, my brother?
Well, what is it? Once again, keeping the progress that's not being made here. Once again, they're going to open up into another name. They're going to same people, another name, and another charter school, and this is their efforts. So who suffered? But the people in the community, as well as the people who are allowing the teachers, if you will. Some are speaking out.
Yes.
Some are speaking. Some need their
yeah.
job, but
Yeah.
some are speaking out. And I know
Yeah.
particularly those who I've encountered
Yes.
here in the city, as well as out in Jefferson Parish, want better for the children.
I was listening to my son. I was in his car the other day, and the OJs came on. And there was a song saying "Money, money, money, money,
Yeah.
money." And my son said, "Dad, that's what's going on in these schools. It's about money. It's deception. And I'm not attacking any particular association or organization, but a lot of these Kemp, these Teach for America, a lot of them come in there to get, some of those teachers, not too, the high schools, some of them not too much older than the kids that they're teaching, Brother Browder. And there's a lot of problems. Let me say this: discipline, and I have, that's my area where I've been to Coin several times and spoke in behalf. I'm not an attorney, but speaking in behalf, parents wanted me to speak, and there are kids who were suspended for 3 days for walking past the line and not walking on the line, and it's crazy.
Well, you have institutional rules, and sometimes that
Individual, but I'm saying I found out that each school has. Some of them have the individual rules that's ludicrous, crazy.
right.
And let me tell you what bothers me. And it's not about Al Mims, but it's about I've had communication with other people who have in schools in their districts. They have sent material about Black history, and they want to be invited an opportunity to come in and talk to some of the faculty about some things that they would like to do, because the school is in their community. Cause we walk to school, and we walk to Walker to Carter G. Woodson, and close your eyes and tell me what you see, my brother. Nothing, no response. I know for myself, I've sent tons of material to the administration and dropped it off, and Black History Month, when they have something, and if they have something, I find out from the kids that there's a assembly going on, and it's kind of like it's a fast track. It's not nothing that's of substance.
Well, when I grew up, we had plays and operettas, and occasionally I think about it, where we were allowed to go to the civic centers and what have you.
Yes.
And let me share this with you. And I was reading in the paper about the Carver Center closing on
They
Orleans
put a
Avenue.
lot of money into
And they
it.
put a lot of money. But here's something that could be used for perhaps. Why not bring the arts there? Why not use portions of that building, that structure, after school programs, whether it's music, whether it's acting or artists, whatever, that building can be used there. Now, there's a lot of people, when you said about Black History celebrations and what have you, the reenactments of Black History, very few and far in between people are trying to do that. Why? As a Black man who was part of orchestrating the international school out in when it was changing from Bunch, he told me, I said, well, why did you change the name? He said, I wanted to fit everybody. I want this, to be the international school with different ethnic groups of people, and that's a beautiful idea. But you didn't have to change who was there. They could have celebrated that Black history person who was significant, if you will, to every ethnic group that would have shared that school space.
With that, Brother Browder, if I may, I want the audience, the listening audience, to chime in and to give us a call and get involved. You can reach us at 504-341-8255, 504-341-8255. Hold that thought, Brother Browder. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back at you. This is Hostages That Fight Back. Your host, Brother Al Mims, and my co-host and guest, Brother Leroy Browder.
Y'all know me, the people person here.
Big homie head.
It's your boy Fred.
This madman, big fan.
Listen, we're your host of the New Orleans Talk Network's Fan View. Real fans talk, real sports. Check us out every Thursday night, 6 p.m.
We're back. Talk What You Know returns on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. We got a brand new co-host by the name of Bob B. And hey, that's me. Also, we got some new features. We're going to be giving away, have a weekly raffle of prizes. There are multiple ways for you to win, and there's a bevy of prizes. So we need you to come on back, join us on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock for Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Good morning. This is Hostages That Fight Back. This is your host, Brother Al Mims, with my co-host and special guest, Brother Leroy Browder. During the break, we were talking about some things that I think that can materialize, and you heard it first here on Hostages That Fight Back, New Orleans Talk Network. Brother Browder, I was been thinking about that. Historically, President Kennedy visited Bunch Village.
Yes.
Yes, and what was it, in 63?
No. That's May 4th, 1962.
Okay, that's just before assassination. A year.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I was just thinking that some kind of petition or something to have that historical that area with a plaque of recognition that our kids need to know that. If you don't know your future, or you don't know your past, you're destined to make the same mistakes in the future. Something like paraphrase it. But you were saying earlier, and I would invite the audience, our listening audience, to call us at 504-341-8255. Hostage That Fight Back. Brother Browder is speaking about some of the ills, and we're not putting anybody down. We're just speaking about what we think that should be done or what should be done, and somebody has to be able to be the one that start the fire, and somebody got to be the gasoline. So, Brother Browder, with no further delay, I'll go on and continue where you were going at.
Okay. Well, Bunch Village was known to be the first black, at that time, Negro subdivision that was created in Louisiana. Had a lot of significance to it. It had a lot of energy there. But what I've found out as years has progressed is that, in my opinion, I think that the black institutions that we had to study in were now taken over. And once taken over, they adapt to another name. Well, Ralph Johnson Bunch was so significant, he walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. These things are evident. I have articles, I have news articles, clippings where President John F. Kennedy stopped on Airline Highway in the entranceway to Bunch Village subdivision. And so what I was hoping to do, and I did make some attempts. I've sent a packet. I had a dream, if you will, and I sent a packet to my council person, who is Mr. Spears, Mark Spears.
We're going to send him another package.
I've also sent a package to Mr. Cedric Richmond, and I hadn't heard anything. It's been a while, and I thought they would have been
another letter
interested in seeing that historical post set right there on Airline Highway, where then May 4th, 1962, President John F. Kennedy stopped there. We all touched his hands. We were just kids that was in awe of this president that we saw on television.
Yes. That
was up close and personal. And so, historically speaking, I would like to see more of that done. And it's I don't know why the black institution, I see one, Mary McLeod Bethune, who was an educator as well, is under attack.
Yes.
I don't know the relationship between the school superintendent and the charter schools to let two more schools go under that jurisdiction. So it's something to that, but it takes away a lot of our historical essence once that's done.
Let me say this, and this is I'll bear that burden, and I said that to the Superintendent Henderson. It seems as though money, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody, but show me something different. And I done had meetings with them. I went to the school board office and the school board. Money. I agree with you, Brother Browder, and something's got to be done. We need some explanations. There need to be some changes made. We do, and I want our listening audience to know that if there's anybody that want to comment, we invite you to call us again at 504-341-8255 because we're talking about something that's very significant. There's nothing greater value than our children. Well, I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah. And why are they
and
failing?
I'm passionate about it, bro.
I see now. They I didn't. Get
you a sponge. You a sponge. There's so many things. And look, if anybody out there, tell Brother Spears that we coming to his office. We gonna be calling. This thing ain't going away.
Why? And we should.
Did I say anything wrong, brother?
No. We should have this demand for our black history to be monumented.
We want that area to be historically accepted. Like Booker T. Washington was on the register, the auditorium. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we couldn't go nowhere else. James Brown, Ray Charles, and other people. Right. And so the auditorium is on the register. I think that the same thing should be given to Bunch Village.
Of course. Of course. And other schools.
And I'm going to say this to you, Brother Browder. You work on what area, where you want it. I don't know what exactly where you want, but it should be. The kids should know and be proud of this, and we're gonna work on that.
Yeah, we need a think tank, Al. We need an African.
We got a committee. We got a committee of two right now.
Right. We need an African American think tank and let me say this. I was at the library historical section yesterday, and I've done some research and what have you. There are, if you will, a lot of other ethnic groups who lend themselves to our history. Yeah. I'm sitting here right now with the American Slave Coast, and it was written by shared by two white authors, and so that's. I just recently read something about the black massacre down in St. Bernard Parish, where a guy did a book on that. And so what we need this think tank of individuals who's going to seriously spearhead an effort to create black monuments that made significant contributions to this city and to this state. We need that. They say Lee Circle. I called it Fat Domino Circle, and before that I called it Musician Circle. And there was some a lady who's plugged in, if you will, to the museum, World War II museum, and she wanted this icon of sort of an individual who did something for the World War I or II, created the vessels or something that were used in there. And I was saying, okay, but perhaps not another monument. New Orleans has meant so much for musically speaking, from the arts. Everybody, they take it from here and they go other places. But Fats Domino, he stayed home. Louis, I can sit on my parents' porch right now and look through the schoolyard and over into Providence Memorial Park, and Mahalia Jackson's grave is there. I like to see a light, if you pass on Airline Highway, just glittering on her gravesite, because you can see. So there's so many important aspects of black history that needs to be shown.
She wanted to be buried with her people.
Of course.
I remember.
And that's the significance.
My father and brother and children are buried out there. And
let me say this. We've had a huge, a lot of musical talent that came from here. So they could share that, if you will, once Lee Circle space, where there's plaques that circles that space, where you can read about these people who have gave and made such contributions. So there's a lot of great things that we can do, but we need the participation of all the people who care about the true history and culture. And it is diverse. People may think it's not. That diverse culture that needs to be shown here. In New Orleans.
Let me just say this: when you said diverse, I always think about gumbo.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
But if we don't look out, this gumbo gonna spoil.
Well, that's right. Yeah, but that'd be the gumbo circle right there at St. Charles Avenue, if you want.
Hey, bro, look, listen to me. You've heard it first on New Orleans Talk Network. Hostages that fight back, Brother Leroy Browder. We're gonna make something happen. We know our kids need to have that pride.
Yeah.
That that someone, we think about it. It was important enough for the President of the United States.
Yes.
Stop that bunch. Stop.
Just stop.
And there are people who pass that area, young people that don't have a clue.
Well, Al, there's people who grew up who came to live in that community. Since a lot of people have grown and the elders have gone on home and those sort of situations.
Some of those houses should be historical.
Well, yeah, but the whole community is, and I have that article.
Okay.
Some people said, "Oh, this community was built before." No. This was it. I have articles. I have all the research done. Now, there's people right there in that same community, because my mother still lives there, they didn't know. They didn't know that these things happen. And so the older people have gone on, but there's one person who says, this needs to be done. And
it
so
needs to be done.
There's a memorial that I had sketched out and sent to, by hand, sent to Mr. Cedric Richmond, also to my councilman. I've sent that out. Hadn't heard anything.
We're gonna do it again.
But I would like to offer a challenge for all our listening audience who really care. There's a lot of people who really want to show these historical the historical essence of the people that have touched their lives. So let's speak out, come together, hopefully put a committee or sort together, a think tank, if you will, and try to execute something in that regard.
Well, let me. I've done this on numerous occasions. I think that it's important enough. If anybody wants to get involved, they can reach me at 504-914-1622. I'm gonna say it again. You can reach me at 504-914-1622. Speaking about history, and we're gonna make it happen today. It's significant, Brother Browder, that we're going to make something happen. We start now to look into the future. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, my brother, I'm on fire this morning, and I like to listen to what y'all think about what's going on this morning at 504-341-8255. This is Hostages That Fight Back with Brother Leroy Browder, my special guest and co-host, Brother Browder. You going on? What else you got?
Well, what I like to talk about is
you're a walking newspaper, man.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying this, but you be on the topic, man. Let me tell you something. If I just stood you up, bro, I could read you. Because you so and I don't want to embarrass you, but when I'm with this brother, I'm telling you something. I be full all the time because he be constantly. I can ask him about something, and he knows what's going on. He's not perfect, but he knows what's going on. Look, we're going to come. Man, time passing. We coming up to our second break. Hold that, Brother Browder. A Hostage That Fight Back. Your host, Brother Mims, and co-host and guest, Brother Leroy Browder. We're going to be right back to you.
Some people are made of plastic. Some people are made of wood.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Happy Merry Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Hello, this is Dr. Glenda E. Williams.
This is Charles Stewart.
Dr. Anthony Williams.
And I want to encourage you to join Church Without Walls every Monday morning from 11 a.m. to 12 noon.
And we want to encourage you to promote God's plan and not man's plan.
Don't you dare miss it.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
We're back at you this morning. We're on fire with Brother Leroy Browder, my special guest and co-host. This is Brother Al Mims, New Orleans Talk Network, Hostages That Fight Back. We're talking about our children. And I think that we have a caller online. Caller, would you identify yourself? Good morning.
Good morning, my brothers. How's everything?
Oh, how are you doing? Is that? Let me see that. No, let me see that voice. Is that my brother Greyhouse?
That's right.
Hey man, how you doing? Look, bro, would you say hello to my co-host and guest, bro? This brother is on fire, man.
Good morning, my brothers. How y'all doing? First down, shout out to the Fatherhood Round Table, man.
That's what I'm talking
How y'all doing this morning?
We've been talking about history, bro, about getting some recognition and historical recognition, which is been overdue for Bunch Village, where he was raised at, and President Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, the late President John F. Kennedy, visited there, and we want to make that area historical and remind the ones who've gone on to glory that it's significant, but it's important. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, we was talking about Bunch Village, about historical, and Brother Browder, he has the information, man. This guy has, he's a walking, talking, two-legged think tank, bro, you know. He has a lot to offer, bro, and I commend him because, you know, a lot of times he's a Lone Ranger at a lot of the meetings, bro, that is concerning our children in Jefferson Parish and in Bunch Village. So, you know, he's a spokesman, bro. He's like you.
But you know, Brother Mills, one thing we notice about this journey that we on, you know, it's never going to be a crowd. It always starts off with a few of us. And then once everything really gets into motion, that's when the crowd comes, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
but my brother, I just want to encourage you, you know, you just stay the course. You know, I know sometimes he may get upset. It may look like it's not going nowhere, but continue to stay in the struggle, you know?
He's speaking to you.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
by all means. You know, I refuse to give up. As long as I have breath in my body, I will make people aware, plant seeds, whether it's on the redistricting efforts that then President Barack Obama and Mr. Eric Holder, or they're taking those initiatives into account right now and trying to if you will, fight that battle of unfairness to our community. So I will always stay in the fight. I'm trying to now, as I speak, understand more about our history, the German coast, the slave trades. All of these things are very significant that we shouldn't lose. And I was just saying earlier that we have a lot of different authors who are taking on that position of bringing awareness, if you will, to our communities. There's not a lot of people who's moving that way, going to the library, etc., reading online, things that affect us even as we live today. They don't do it. But then there are some of us, a lot of us, if you will, that's making sure of those efforts of awareness of about our heritage and history that will never go away.
Brother Browder, and you can chime in too, Gray House. Could you tell me, if I put you on the spot, why is it that it almost takes so long for things to come to surface, to movements?
Well, you know, as they, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
You know, 7 years ago, somebody else forefathers, not ours, set forth this Constitution for the United States of America. And in that Constitution, they put together an institution, and that institution was called slavery. As I'm right here, right now, American Slave Coast is what I was doing some historical stuff in the main library just yesterday. I want to know more about that. It was a patient thing. We fought hard. We overcame, right? And now it's time to make a move into new endeavors, to re-educate our children. Don't let the black history just vanish in front of their eyes. And so that's the position that I take, and it's a patient one.
Well, Gray House, you have been in the battle, even though you're a young brother, that you know your purpose, and you have been involved in the struggle for a long time, because I've seen you from a distance, bro, and this is a fight that we intend to continue and to win. Am I right?
That's right. And to kind of piggyback off what the brother was just saying, another reason why, why it's so hard for it to come to fruition, because I believe a lot of people are scared. They feel that if they're going to start talking about or speaking on certain issues that affect our community, they're going to lose their backing, or they're going to lose their funding, or they're going to lose some of their resources, And it's like, you remember when we went by Brother Chuck and we watched that Martin Luther King documentary?
Yeah.
And when the interviewer asked Dr. King, he was like, by you taking a position that you have taken, are you afraid that you're going to lose friendship with the president? And you know what Dr. King said?
Yes.
My friendship with the president is not important. That's not of no importance. What I'm fighting for in the struggle and for my people and the equality, that's more important than the friendship that I have. And I'm paraphrasing. That's more important friendship that I have with the president. And that statement right there, that's where a lot of us need to be at. We need to believe what we believe in and stand on what we stand on, not say this Tuesday, then when Thursday come, change our whole position. And that's why I believe we are in the position where we are at, because a lot of us, we say one thing today, then when tomorrow comes, we a whole different type of person. Or the conversation depends on the company.
I was saying to Brother Browder that the movement starts like this, and I think that he's starting a fire right now, and that I remember a little while ago, Gray House, I hope I won't embarrass you, that we had a situation, we had a function, and I'm not going to say where it was, but it was in one of the parishes, and the guy came over, and he was talking about what, man, y'all going to wind up getting in trouble, and here we got all these kids with us. We had about 25, 30 kids, and he was talking to you, and I'm listening, and, I'm the vice president of the Father Round Table. We doing some good things, and Joey Ricasno was the president and the founder, and he threatened to have us arrested, and I was like saying, do it. Let's do it. It didn't faze you one bit, did it?
Not at all, because I know one thing. If I'm going to get arrested for something good, then that needs to be shown,
Yeah.
Now, if we would have packed up our stuff and we would have bowed down to him, we would have been wrong. You know, because at the end of the day, what we do is not about us; it's about the kids, because that's our future.
He tried to intimidate us, and where I'm going at with to tell Brother Browder, he is an inspiration, and there is a movement that it's been in his heart and things that I believe what he's saying that it should be, and you can't, other words, this is a snowball. It's going to be it's going to snowball. It's going to get bigger, and I want to thank him. Want to let him know this day is significant. It's the 12th of December, right? We're gonna remember this day, Brother Greyhouse. We got about 10, 15 minutes. Would you have to have any parting remarks, my brother, before we move on?
Oh yeah, I just want what you get. It's time out for us. What needs to be done or what should have been done. We need to start being and continue to be the change that we seek. Because if we keep on just talking about the problem and not moving to make a solution to solve the problem, all we're doing is constantly going in a circle. We have a whole lot of organizations that's out here who we can join and get linked up with and start being the change that we seek. Because if we keep on looking to the same people, expecting a different result, well, I think that's a definition of insanity, right?
Yes.
We're not going to get nowhere like that.
Yes.
So my message, and I'm going to keep on saying the same thing over and over again. We need to get organized, and we need to start, we need to get organized, and we need to start making things happen. It's time out for this, talking about what the problem is. Everybody knows what the problem is. Everybody.
Well,
I believe we have enough people that we can come together and we can start doing for ourselves instead of waiting for somebody to do it for us.
Okay, my brother, I love you much, bro. You have a great day. I'll talk to you. I'll see you at the Father's Round Table, okay?
Y'all do the same. Love y'all, man.
All right,
back, brother.
Brother Browder.
I just like to leave him with just two scriptures that I carry with me, and when I learned and hung on to them, this is what I look for when I go into a group, and a lot of times they're not there. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpeneth iron. So does a man sharpen the consonants of his friend," and the consonants mean his stability. So all of the people that we're going to journey into and maybe with, it's going to be some friction. It's going to be, we thinking, we got opinions. We have all these situations that sometimes disrupt us and say, well, he feels like this or she feels like that, and, I don't want to be a part of that. But we should understand once we're sharpening up each other, the bottom line is we're going to sharpen each other up heart to heart. And so that's what's the struggle. Keep our heart in it. And as we're trying to do that, the other one is Isaiah 1:18 says, "Come now and let us reason together." And so I'm looking for people who want to sharpen me up and allow me to maybe sharpen them up. And when things appear to be frictioning and what have you, let's sit down and just reason together and talk about it. And so I wish you all the best, my brother.
Well, I want to say this to Brother Greyhouse, and that there are a lot of other brothers that feel the way we do, and we're going to reach out to those brothers for their assistance and help, whichever we can, because there's power in numbers, and we're not the Lone Ranger, am I right, brother?
That's right.
We need a posse.
Yeah.
And but I'm saying this to and if there is anybody listening that's connected with our council people, we want to let them know that we just want to do what's right, do the right thing, and we'll be getting back with them and sharing with them some ideas. But we want Bunch Village, the area that President Kennedy visited in 62, to be historically recognized, and that's it, and that's all. You got it, Brother Browder.
Yeah, well, those efforts are, and I have a lot of people who, say, well, I didn't know that. They didn't live in the community. They didn't experience that experience. But there's a lot of other Bunch Village areas in New Orleans and the surrounding areas that needs to become alarmed as to the light. As I used in one of meetings I was at Jefferson Parish School Board, the light is being turned out on the community and on the black history. It's being gradually turned out. And we have some blacks, unfortunately, who's a part of it.
Tell the truth.
Maybe because of, this takes care of my family. And others maybe just don't care. But there are a lot of people who do care. And and if you can hear at the sound of my voice now, is to get involved in your community.
I hear the passion.
And to try to say, wait a minute, there's a lot of historical black essence that needs to be reviewed and monumented.
Well, it's amazing that this is happening the last month in the year, just before New Year's, because this movement, and it's a movement, Brother Browder, and you are the one that engineered this, and I'm gonna give you the credit. I'm not. It's not you looking for any recognition, but I want you to know that this snowball is going down the hill and it's picking up some steam, and I want to commend you for your love and your passion and your commitment, because it takes that. And if anybody listening that's connected to the Spears administration, let them know that Brother Mims and Brother Browder's the train is coming. We coming. Brother Browder.
Yeah, there's so many huge efforts. President Barack Obama, Eric Holder, they are attacking the gerrymandering that has been going on for forever. And so those are the type of things. You think that there's nobody who's caring about these communities, about our voting structure in our community. They are. So in the same regard as we got some guys and some people and some women who are part of this effort, to undo what has been done, to create, the unimaginable. It is going on right now. And I'm not Barack Obama, not even close to Eric Holder, right? But I'm just a little old guy that came up in a black community with pride, as others have done in other communities. And so let's come together and orchestrate that sort of behavior to recapture our true essence.
Well, with that said, we're about to close out. This is Brother Al Mims, host, and your co-host and guest, Brother Leroy Browder. You can reach us at 504-914-1622. But this snowball is rolling. Without you, we going. We thank you, Lord. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. This is my prayer in Jesus' name. This is Brother Al Mims, hostage that fight back with Brother Leroy Browder. We'll see you next week. What is Tuesday? What Tuesday?
Talk Back Tuesday.
Talk Back Tuesday. I like that. I knew what it was, but I wanted to hear you. You said with gusto, man.
Yeah, okay. That's what it is. Welcome to Talk Back Tuesday.